There comes a point where you just stop. You stop explaining yourself to people who were never really listening. You stop being available every time someone needs you, but disappears when you need them. You stop softening your boundaries just to keep everyone else comfortable. And one day, without any announcement, you pull back, not out of anger, not to punish anyone. You just become unavailable, and suddenly everything shifts. The people who took you for granted start noticing. The ones who only showed up when it was convenient start scrambling. Because access to you isn't automatic anymore. Your time, your energy, your peace, these things aren't up for negotiation. And here's what's wild. The moment you stop performing for everyone else, you finally start living for yourself. If you're tired of being the one who always shows up while everyone else disappears, you're about to discover why becoming unattainable isn't cold. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Here's what's actually happening when you become unattainable. You're not shutting people out. You're finally understanding that your peace has value, and you've been giving it away for free. Think about it. How many times have you dropped everything for someone who couldn't even text you back when you needed them? How many times have you explained yourself to people who were already committed to misunderstanding you? How many relationships have you kept alive through sheer force of will while the other person did absolutely nothing? You've been conditioned since childhood to believe that being available equals being good, that saying yes makes you valuable, that explaining yourself proves you care. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Constant availability doesn't make you loved. It makes you convenient. The people who treat you like an option, they're not doing it because there's something wrong with you. They're doing it because you've taught them they can. Every time you chase someone who pulled away, every time you over-explain a simple boundary, every time you accept crumbs and pretend it's enough, you're showing them exactly how little effort they need to give. And your nervous system is exhausted from it. You're tired of being the one who always reaches out first, tired of conversations that only happen when they need something, tired of relationships where you're auditioning for approval that never comes. The people who seem genuinely at peace, they're not colder than you. They're not more selfish. They've just learned something crucial. When you stop being easy to reach, you stop being easy to drain. When you pull back your energy from people who don't reciprocate, you're not being mean, you're being accurate. And once you truly see this, not just intellectually, but in your actual life, everything changes. Because suddenly you realize other people's inability to value you isn't your problem to solve. Your only job is to stop participating in your own depletion. So how do you actually make this shift? It starts with understanding one thing. Your presence is not something you owe to anyone. Most people hand out their time, energy, and emotional labor like it's on clearance. Someone texts at 2 a.m., better respond immediately. Someone violates a boundary, better explain it 3 more times. Someone ghosts for weeks, then reappears, better act like nothing happened. But here's what changes everything. You start protecting your peace like it's sacred. Not with walls, not with bitterness, just with clarity about what you're available for and what you're not. Try this right now. Think of someone who drains you, someone who only shows up when they need something. Now ask yourself, what would happen if I just stopped being so available? Not blocked them, not made a dramatic exit, just stopped responding instantly, stopped explaining, stopped chasing. Most of the time, they'd either step up or step out. And both of those are better than what you're doing now. The first thing that changes everything: stop explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone a dissertation on why you can't drop everything for them. No is a complete sentence. I'm not available doesn't need a follow-up essay. When you stop justifying your boundaries, people stop pushing them. Someone gets upset because you didn't respond in 5 minutes. That's their issue to work through, not yours to manage. You're allowed to have a life that doesn't revolve around being on call for everyone else's emergencies. And here's the second shift. Protect your energy like it's limited. Because it is. You wake up with a certain amount of emotional bandwidth. Every interaction costs something, and you've been spending it on people who wouldn't invest a fraction of that energy back into you. Start asking, does this person's presence in my life add to my peace or subtract from it? Do I feel lighter or heavier after spending time with them? Because your body knows the answer, even when your mind tries to rationalize it away. The final piece, let your absence speak. You don't need to announce you're pulling back. You don't need to explain why you're less available. You just stop showing up for one-sided dynamics. Stop texting first. Stop making excuses for people who don't show up. Stop carrying relationships on your back. And here's what happens. The people who genuinely care will notice and reach out. The people who were just using you for convenience will fade away. And that's not a loss. That's clarity. Let's talk about what this actually looks like when you're living it, not just thinking about it. Someone who normally gets instant access to you sends a message. Old you would have dropped everything to respond, even if you were in the middle of something important. But now, you finish what you're doing. You respond when it actually works for you, and you don't apologize for it. The situation still happened. They reached out, but you're not treating their timeline as more important than your own peace. By the time you respond, you've forgotten to feel guilty about it. You're free. You're at a family gathering and someone makes a passive-aggressive comment about your choices. Old you would have spent the next hour defending yourself, proving your worth, trying to make them understand. But now, you let it sit there. You don't take the bait. You observe without absorbing. Because here's what you've learned. People who are committed to misunderstanding, you won't be convinced by your explanations. So you stop giving them. The comment happened, but it doesn't enter your system. It moves around you, not through you. You're in a friendship where you're always the one initiating, always the one planning, always the one putting in effort. Old you would have kept trying, kept proving your value, kept hoping they'd eventually match your energy. But now, you just stop. Not with anger, not with a dramatic announcement. You just stop being the only one rowing the boat. And you notice something interesting. Either they step up, suddenly they're reaching out, suddenly they're making plans, or the friendship naturally fades. And if it fades, it was never mutual to begin with. You just saved yourself months or years of exhausting yourself for someone who wasn't going to meet you halfway. Here's what I've noticed in my own life. The relationships that survived me becoming less available. Those are the real ones. The ones that fell apart when I stopped doing all the work. They were never built to last anyway. Someone doesn't invite me to something, and old me would have spiraled. Do they not like me? Did I do something wrong? New reality, they made a choice based on factors I don't control, and it says nothing about my worth. The shift isn't about becoming cold, it's about becoming honest. Most of the exhaustion in your life comes from trying to maintain connections that should have ended naturally a long time ago. So, what actually becomes possible when you stop being available to everyone? Imagine waking up and your peace isn't negotiable anymore. Not because you've built walls, but because you've built standards. People can't just walk into your life whenever they feel like it and walk out when it's inconvenient. Your time, your energy, your presence, these things have value. And you finally treat them that way. You move through your day and someone tries to guilt you for having boundaries. You would have crumbled, apologized, made yourself smaller. But now, you don't even flinch because you're not seeking their approval anymore. You've chosen yourself. And that shift is louder than anything you could say. You make decisions based on what protects your peace, not what keeps other people comfortable. You say no without a paragraph of justification. You let people be disappointed without scrambling to fix it. Because you've finally understood their discomfort with your boundaries is not your emergency. Here's what I've noticed. The less available you become to chaos, the more respect you naturally command. People stop testing your limits because they can sense you're not negotiating anymore. The energy you use to waste on one-sided relationships, you now have it for people who actually show up. This isn't about reaching some perfect state where you never care what anyone thinks. Some people will always matter to you. That's being human. But you get to choose who those people are. You're not a vending machine that anyone can walk up to and extract value from anymore. You're still on this journey. I am too. There are still moments when someone's disappointment makes me want to over-explain, to chase, to prove I'm not the bad guy. But those moments are fewer now, shorter, and I recover faster. That's the real transformation. Not never feeling the pull, but knowing you don't have to follow it. I want to know, what relationship are you exhausting yourself trying to maintain? Drop it in the comments. Not to judge it, but to name it. Because the moment you see it clearly, you can decide if it's actually worth your energy. And someone else reading this might recognize their own pattern. Here's the truth that brings everything together. You were never supposed to be available to everyone all the time. Your peace was never meant to be the price you pay for connection. Real relationships don't require you to deplete yourself to prove you care. The people who are meant for you will meet you where you are. They won't need you to chase them. They won't make you feel guilty for having boundaries. They won't drain you and call it love. So the next time you feel guilty for being less available, remember this. Becoming unattainable to the wrong people makes you magnetic to the right ones. You're not closing yourself off. You're finally opening up space for connections that actually fill you instead of empty you. And that's when everything changes. If this resonated, hit subscribe. This is just the beginning.